Do you find yourself saying, when will I see results? When will I start making money? And how long is this actually going to take? I hear you and I feel you because you're showing up every single day, putting in the hours, working hard, but your bank account isn't reflecting the effort. And it is frustrating. But here's the truth. Most agents give up way too soon. According to NAR, 75% of agents don't make it through their first year. And I'd be willing to bet many of them were just shy of a breakthrough. So before you decide to walk away in this episode, we're going to make sure you're focused on the right activities and that your calendar reflects them so you can start building momentum towards making 100K and beyond.
Are you tired of feeling like you're doing all the things as a real estate agent but still not seeing consistent results? Well, that ends right now. Welcome to the Profitable Real Estate Agent, the show for agents who are ready to stop winging it and start building a profitable and sustainable business. This season, we're going to cut through the noise and focus on exactly what it takes to make 100K as a real estate agent. Without the guesswork, without the overwhelm, and without wasting time on things that don't move the needle in your business. I'm pulling back the curtain on the exact framework that took me from my first 100K to 500K to building a 7-figure business. So if you haven't hit 100K yet or you struggle with inconsistency, don't worry, I've got you covered. It's time to take action. Let's get to work.
I want to start by taking a closer look at what's really going on here. Because one of the most common things I hear from agents is, Vanessa, I am working so hard. I'm doing all the things, but nothing is working. Now, I have been there and I feel you. And yes, there could be many reasons why you are not seeing results yet. And we could go in so many different directions here. We could talk about mindset, systems, consistency. But today I want to focus on one key area that I see come up time and time again. So here's what we need to look at. Are you working hard on the right things? Because there's a difference between staying busy and doing what actually moves the needle in our businesses. And that's the question I had to ask myself very early on. And it's something I touched on in the last episode as well. So I want you to really think about, where are you spending and how are you spending your time? Are you reacting to everything that comes your way, or are you intentional? What do I mean by this? When that email notification dings, I'm talking to you and myself. Do you stop everything you're doing and say, oh my gosh, I have to go check my email? Is that you? Are you scrolling endlessly on social media, but you have no plan or strategy in place? Are you saying yes to everything and anything that comes your way because you don't have a clear structure to help you say no? And most agents, they're focused on the 80%. This is your to-do list, the quote unquote busy work, finding your perfect colors, working on your logo. But the agents hitting 100K and beyond and making money, they prioritize the 20% that are going to drive results. So let's shift that and make sure you're putting in the effort into the right activities. These are those 5 fundamentals. This is your 20%, meaning all the other 80%, those emails, working on your logo, your colors, this has to wait. So what I want you to do now, if you are not driving, I want you to grab a pen and a paper or the notes app in your phone, and I want you to write these down. These are your fundamentals. It is lead generation. That means talking to people, having two-way conversations, following up. This is following up with the people you're meeting, practicing what you're going to say, practicing those conversations, going on appointments, and executing agreements at the appointments. Now, I've spent the last few episodes talking about lead generation, and I will continue to talk about it because this is where your business starts and stops. But when you think about the fundamentals, this is the foundation for any real estate agent, whether you're working towards 100K, 250K, or even your first million. These never change. And I've proved them time and time again because I've made all of those different brackets, okay? So I want you to take a moment and really think about these 5 activities, because collectively, this is what gets you to the closing table and making money.
Hey, a real quick pause before we go deeper. If you're listening right now and thinking, I want a clear plan to finally reach 100K, then check out my signature program. It's my step by step framework for real estate agents who are ready to stop winging it and start building real results. Inside, you're going to learn the exact fundamentals to build the foundation to hitting 100K. We're going to cover everything from mastering your buyer and seller consultations to building your database and delivering a 5-star client experience and everything in between. You're going to get access to my scripts, templates, and checklists. Plus, we're going to have coaching, accountability, and support so you never feel alone. Click on the link in the show notes now to join the roadmap to 100K. All right, let's take you back to the episode.
Now that you know what the priorities are, here's what I want you to do. I want you to pull out your calendar. Again, if you are not driving, of course, if you're driving, just listen for now, but you're going to want to come back to this. I want you to pull up your calendar, whether it's digital or paper, whatever you use, and go back to the last 7 days. Here's where we get honest with ourselves, okay? Ask yourself, where did the time go? This is that moment, as I said, to be honest with yourself. Don't make things up. Let's get real. Were your fundamentals, the 5 fundamentals I just went over, are they on your schedule? What about lead generation, that fundamental? Was it scheduled? Your follow-ups, practicing your conversations, going on appointments, did that get blocked in? Or was it spent on that busy work, that 80%, the emails, the distractions, getting ready to get ready? If these core activities are not reflected on your calendar, this is likely one of the contributing reasons why you're not seeing results. Of course, there are so many different ways, as I've already said, directions I can take, so many other factors, but I want to focus on this one right now. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to look at the next 7 days. Let's look forward. What does your calendar look like? Let's not just fit in quotations, lead generation. Your day must be built around it. And eventually all 5 fundamentals need to show up on your calendar. But what I want you to do this week, just this week, is focus on the first most important fundamental, which is prioritizing your lead generation and blocking time for it. This is not the time for excuses. You've already chosen your strategies, of course, right? We've already covered that. Those are in the first few episodes of season 2. So if you haven't heard those yet, please go back and listen to them. Okay. I want to make sure you do that because that's really step 1. And I walk you through step by step what to do. But now you're wondering that question. Okay, Vanessa, I'm prioritizing my lead generation. I've listened to those episodes. I've got my plan in place. I've got all those things ready to go. But how long will it take before I start seeing the results I desire? And here's what I want you to understand. This is not a one size fits all answer, but here's what I can tell you. Results lag behind the effort. So what do I mean by that? The conversations you have today, the value you offer in those conversations by following up, sending your text messages, following them on social media, sending them DMs, however you decide your lead generation strategy is going to be. This is business you may not see for 60, 90, 120 days or more, because this is the biggest financial investment of someone's lifetime. It takes time for people to trust you and to make decisions. They may not be in the now business. They might not be ready to buy or sell or invest right now. But this is why consistency matters so much in and around the fundamentals. Because the moment you stop, you're starting from scratch all over again. And you might be stopping just before those results start to show up. You know, I think in the book, I think about the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and he tells a story of a gold miner who struck gold early on, but then the gold disappeared. Like he struck one spot and then it was like he couldn't hit it anymore. So he ended up selling the land. The next person that came in moved just a few feet over, and guess what they did? They struck gold. The guy was so close, but he didn't even know it. And I see this happen all the time in this business. Agents give up right before their breakthrough. So here's what I want you to leave you with today If you've been showing up and doing the work but still not seeing results, don't hit the panic button because you might be one call, one follow up, one DM, one social media post away from the business you've always desired. So I want you to pull at your calendar, ensure you've got those fundamentals prioritized, the right activities. Because the agents who succeed, who make 100K, 250K, even seven figures, they're not the ones trying everything out there. They're the ones who stay consistent with the right things long enough for them to work. So I want to encourage you today, keep going. Keep at it. Keep trying for that goal because I guarantee you, you are just so close to the breakthrough. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.
Success as a real estate agent comes down to a decision to show up, take action, and stay committed. So don't just listen. Apply what you learned today and put it into motion. If you need help getting started, I want you to grab my free 60 lead gen strategy guide so you can start finding the right lead gen strategies that'll work for you. And if you're a motivated, ambitious agent who's ready to hit six figures, join my Roadmap to 100K program. You'll find both links in the show notes. If you found this episode valuable, please share it with a fellow agent and leave me a 5-star rating and review, as it helps more agents just like you find the show. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you next time on The Profitable Real Estate Agent.